Welcome to Techzine TV.
Welcome to Techzine TV. We are at Workday Rising in San Francisco. We're talking to Peter Bailis. He's the CTO of Workday. Welcome, Peter. Talking about strategy, because that's basically, if you're a part of the management team, that's one of your big roles.
Mm-hmm.
You're also a pretty technical guy, I think. You want to manage money and people, which you already did, but you also want to manage AI agents with the agent system of record.
Mm-hmm.
Something you announced during the keynotes.
Yeah.
Can you explain a bit what you mean by agent system of record?
Yeah, it's a great question. So Workday is the system of record for people, for our customers. So basically, who's employed, what department do they work in, who's their manager, what's their entire employment history, job change, everything there is there.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's not just for HR, actually. When you log into your identity provider, let's say your customer at Workday and Okta's using Workday data to go figure out, are you employed? Where do you sit in the org chart? So on, right? So Workday is actually like the database behind Workday is the system for people. Now, when you think about AI agents, I think the real trick of agents and the real breakthrough is people figure out how do you go and incorporate AI in your company? Well, actually personifying AI through an agent, like a digital coworker that you can today chat with. Over time, we'll be doing more tasks on your behalf. Like that interface is actually incredibly convenient.
How far do you want to take that?
I mean, I think we'll see where the foundation models go. And from the agent system of record perspective, if you're going to personify or have these entities that are working on your behalf, the same construct you have for people, for the people system of record, extending that to agents is actually quite nice. So what department is this agent a part of? I can assign it an ID through Workday or through, something like Entra, which you announced on stage with Microsoft. And then from an IDP and identity perspective, getting a little nerdy here, like the protocols for authenticating people already exist for that.
Yeah.
So being able to have a system of record for agents is actually, really convenient in terms of evolving how AI and people work together with an existing set of protocols, an existing database, an existing way of organizing
goals and capabilities.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can do that on your own platform, but there's going to be massive amount of platforms with AI agents. You want to control them externally as well.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, look, there's massive number of SaaS applications as well, right? What is Workday uniquely good at? It's people and money. And we're sort of Switzerland, right? We're not going to be, we don't care if you use Salesforce or HubSpot or if you use Google Drive or Office 365. It's the place where your people data live. So we talk about, say, the Copilot integration, which we announced yesterday. You can create agents in Copilot, but register them and govern them in Workday. So I think it's really about, not being necessarily the control tower for all agents or being the agent builder for all agents. It's about saying, hey, if you want to register and have these in one place with a way that you already manage one of your most sensitive assets in your company, which is people, this is a pretty convenient way to do it. And so far, the ecosystem response is pretty good because people realize they're not going to be the only game in town, whether it's Agentforce or Copilot or I'm using Agent Space. We had Google on stage as well, Richard from Google. So it's kind of this realization that it's going to be not a one size fits all, not a winner take all, but having a single place to go register these and manage them is pretty compelling. It helps our customers who are trying to make sense of all of the, how do I go govern all of this? How do I enable open adoption of these things, but also have a little bit of semblance of control and security? ASOR is a very useful construct for that.
But do you think there will be a standard or a protocol for managing agents across platforms?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think there will be. Today, it's very early. So MCP, widely adopted. Dirty secret, a lot of agents actually, instead of using something like the agent-to-agent protocol, they're just speaking MCP as well.
Yeah.
And so, jury's out on how that evolves. What A2A has from a protocol perspective, which is incredibly valuable, is a description of the agent, which an MCP doesn't give you that at all. You don't have a, here's my skill.
You need a protocol for a hypervisor level to manage it.
Exactly, right? And so I think this will evolve and extend, and it's something where, we're in the ecosystem. We were A2A partners. One of the areas that we're really excited about, which is very simple, but incredibly impactful. Agents often work on behalf of a user.
Yeah.
So being able to have delegate permissions for agents is really important. You can do that in the the OAuth standard, right? But you've got to get agreement from everyone who's accepting these tokens that, hey, this is this agent's on behalf of Peter. That's a type of tweak where I think you'll actually see incremental evolution, MCP being maybe the first starting point. And then, we're along for the ride. We really do believe, our right to win and where Workday's best is in managing the people and money and future agents.
Yeah.
And we're going to work with everyone to go and build the best protocols wherever people want to create agents.
Okay, but you're also buying those companies at the moment.
Well,
and I noticed you now have 3 low-code platforms in your portfolio, at least, or in your technology stacks. So you're a lot about building agents, and you're buying these companies for a reason, for talent, but also for technology. You want customers to build apps and agents on top of your Workday platform, because you call it a platform now instead of applications. How far is that ambition or objective to be the platform for everything?
It's a great question. I mean, let's go back to what we've bought, recent acquisition, right? We acquired Flowise, which is an open source toolkit. It's an open source platform, 40,000 stars in GitHub for building drag and drop agents.
Yeah, for people who don't know it, it's kind of a competitor for NHN. It's a bit more popular, sorry, but
I think it's a mix. They're up there. N8N, I think, is also playing more in kind of the Zapier style space as well, right? Also doing more data integration as well. But, it's like many flowers bloom. For us, we felt like, hey, our customers want to build more agents on Workday. We can go and build our own UI. We can go and integrate with N8N, which we will continue to do. We can go and integrate with Flowise, but also, we think the Flowise team is great. We want to pour fuel on the Flowise team and grow that and grow the open source base. So we're just going to keep Flowise open source. Our customers will use Flowise in Workday because it can be, best on Workday. You want to build with people and money data. So we're not building, generic, Microsoft Copilot, agent space, so on. We're like, our customers spend so much time in Workday. This is the most sensitive data to go feed their AI. If they can do that in our security perimeter, that's great. On the other 2 acquisitions we made for Paradox, this is about recruiting. They built an incredible recruiting solution. I mean, they do 31, million, sort of candidate screens a year. That's 1 per second. It's like incredible scale. And a huge overlap with the Workday customer base. They have their own ATS. They also work with Workday. So it's just, that's like, hey, we can go build our own recruiting agent suite, and we have some cool stuff going there. But like, we can just, we have deep partnership with the company. We think there's a better together story. Our customers love buying just one platform. It's so painful to go buy many different SKUs. So we'll let these partners proliferate, but we want to make it easier. So that's for recruiting. And then on the Sana side, this one is about kind of 2 things. 1, they have a great learning product. But 2, the bigger story is they have an amazing UI for AI. So as we've thought about how does Workday experience evolve, we were very close to the Sana team already. We said, this is a really incredible opportunity to take a lot of the work we're already doing in Workday on our agent and surface this through a really beautiful consumer grade UI.
So no code platform.
Yeah, somewhat. I think about Sana as essentially connecting it's enterprise search. So I connect all of my different systems, which is in some ways no code, but really just about
is into enterprise search.
Integration. Well, I think it's an early market, to be honest. I think that, when you look at the actual penetration and use of this, it's still very, very early, right? I think it will be the future way people work with their enterprise data. But now we have an amazing enterprise search platform. Of course, on top of enterprise search, what do you want to do? You want to stitch together multiple different systems. You can do that by statically coding these or by, doing a UI, or you can have an agent going. So it's really different personas. Like Flowise is our low code agent builder. It's open source. Extend is our pro code, build your own app inside of Workday. And Sana will be the, experience for less technical users to go and use their enterprise data. So it all kind of fits together. I think what is fair though is we are on a tear. We in the last 6 months, the team's shipping of first party agents has just gone through the roof. We announced, massive number across the suite.
Yeah, you took all your expertise and built agents for HR and
finance,
for finance functions that people have a hard time or requires a lot of manual work that kind of automated with agents.
Yeah, and a ton of delivery. And then now on the acquisition side, these are 1 recruiting agent, 2 other platforms to go and accelerate that vision. So I think, I don't know that we'll have the same, I don't expect we'll have that same, number of acquisitions at Next Rising in a year.
No.
But I think that but I think that we are laying the foundation for a radically different work.
Yeah. What I wanted to say was you're buying companies that help you give your users the tools to build applications on top of your platform.
Yeah.
That's kind of the technology stack you're buying and integrating.
Yeah.
To have more and also spoke to Carl yesterday, and he also said we want to be the primary platform for organizations to build their agent plan.
Well, yeah, I think that's right. In our right to win here is people and money, and we have 75 million we're affiliated 75 million users.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like an amazing opportunity to go and distribute. We think at the future of work.
But if you look at the market, everybody's doing enterprise search now. They're all launching their AI platforms where you can build agents.
Mm-hmm.
Are you really going to try to compete with the ServiceNows and the Salesforces and the SAPs of this world?
I think we have to. And I think we will. Because,
isn't that a bit too big ambition?
What we have are people and money data. We've got the best data set analysts in the world. My experience building, AI for one of the largest hyperscalers in the world is actually that, the models can get better and better. We work with GDM making, for example, code gen for data great. The thing that actually makes AI work super, super, super well is context. So if I can understand, what is this user trying to do?
Mm-hmm.
What are users like them trying to do? What is going on in their organization? I can provide that context, especially with the latest models, and get way better results. And so the bet, which I'm pretty confident in, put our money where our mouth is yesterday, is that we can go and build really good enterprise search. And frankly, I actually think that the distribution advantage that we have, with our customer base, who is so hungry for AI, they're so excited to see what does the future look like, and then to give that to them via the platform that we announced yesterday. You can just turn this on and you pay for what you use, but there's no Workday Pro, there's no extra platform fee, there's nothing, just to say, look, try it. And then if incumbent, what I'm excited about, this is what I get so fired up about, we get to go and ship and go build that. And the team, the Asana team, these guys are really good. They're really good at the ML side, and they're also extremely good at the user experience. Foundation models get better. If you own the experience layer, I think you win the war.
I think you're onto something, but I do think the ambition is too high. And I'll tell you why. Because I do think it are great acquisitions and great products. The Sun looks great. I didn't know it before, but I did look it up, of course, and it looks really nice. And your strategy aligns, and there's definitely something there. But if you take a step back from an enterprise organization perspective, they are going to choose, I think, a primary platform to build their AI agents. They all buy Salesforce, they all buy Workday, they all buy ServiceNow, they all buy SAP. Most enterprises have all,
for sure,
basically.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to base their choice to build AI agents on where their business lies. So if they are a manufacturer using a lot of ERP from SAP, for example, they're going to choose them. If it's a sales or service organization, they're more likely to go to Salesforce.
Yeah.
And if it's, I don't know, they've been building workflows and ServiceNow for the last 10 years, it's easy to take that platform.
Yeah.
If we look at Workday is not in their primary business. It's a supporting role on HR and finance. You do need HR and you do need finance.
Yeah.
But it's more supporting. It's not the primary group.
Yeah.
So that's why I think they will more likely choose the other ones over Workday.
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
what do you think of
it's
that?
an open question. I think here's when you think about these agent platforms, like let's talk about generic, agent for work. How do I go and stitch together my enterprise data source? How do I build workflows? How do I build, kind of configurations on top of this I can go and share? Like the foundation model companies are ultimately going to dictate how powerful those are. Very few people outside of maybe doing retrieval are going to fine tune models for this task. It's all about foundation model, enterprise connectors. From the enterprise connector perspective, as people adopt more MCP, you have better federated search. The advantage essentially becomes much more, how do you build the best experience layer on top of foundation models, plus essentially federated search with a universal ACLs. And that's evolving super fast. And so from that perspective, if I'm in manufacturing, am I going to go use one of our competitors as my primary system for this? Potentially, if I'm going to go use my sales stuff, am I going to do it Salesforce? I should let many flowers bloom, but here's the thing. If we have the best experience layer, every single employee for every single Workday customer logs into Workday. They take time off, they check their paychecks, they get promoted, they write performance reviews. So I think that advantage where you're wall to wall in a company, I'm not just looking at it from a FP&A perspective. I'm not looking at it from a manufacturing perspective. We're not like a narrow SaaS application. We are wall to wall inside of an organization. When you have HCM, even for fins, you have the full system of record, the general ledger for the company. I think that's a unique advantage because it's basically the company operations, the most important part of the company, the employees of the company and the money for the company. That's in Workday. So that's the wedge. It's across industries. We have 11,000 customers, unbelievable customer base distribution. Well, I actually joined Workday 4 months ago because of the customer base. And that tells me if we can build the best product experience, and we can distribute it, I think it's an incredible chapter for Workday.
Okay.
It's not traditional Workday. I think, maybe the question behind the question is, what is Workday doing? Why is Workday buying Sana? How does Workday think?
I get it.
But it's a new,
I even, because you're an AI guy, I asked Claude to do research on your financial and say, take that amount of employees, the financials, can they even compete with these guys? And Claude came up all by itself. It's a David versus Goliath battle. You're 5 times smaller than the average other platforms.
Maybe. I think it comes down to delivery. I mean, look.
That's true. But
if employee count was everything, you would have, no startups, no innovation.
No, that's true. But efficiency, you're a very efficient organization. If you look at the financials, if you look at revenue per employee, etc. If you're going to expand that big, it's really hard to keep it efficient.
No, but I think you're missing the point, right?
Yeah.
Like the future of software is built by cracked teams of software engineers running on the latest coding,
That's
all basically Claude code and codecs. And then you talk to Joel, how he's thinking about expanding his org. I don't want more people. They're hiring more. They have to hire more, but it's bigger teams. They're not better teams, especially with AI. I mean,
they doubled the number of developers, right? Last year. That was somewhere in the keynote.
No. Not our developers. So that is the number of developers on our platform. Yeah, we doubled the number of developers on the platform by opening it up. And actually, I think that's the real message is that, Workday, we can try to build it all, especially when you think of our aspirations in medium enterprise or aspirations in international or aspirations to go and do more for knowledge workers. The more we can express open standards, so you can just code and Claude code, codecs, all the agents know how to go and use Workday. That's fantastic. It's fantastic for our customers, fantastic for Workday as a business, fantastic for our partners. So the doubling it in developers building on Workday, but I can tell you our dev teams have not doubled. They've gotten way faster. Week 2, my employment at Workday, we rolled out Cursor for everyone. We had like 2,000 people in the company coding on Cursor in 1 month in from our pilot. So Workday is shipping like ever before. And for Sana in particular, they've got a big task ahead of them. If you use the product, you can just sign up and use it today. It's really good. It's a beautiful experience. I think maybe this is something in the water in Sweden, or maybe by virtue of being out in, not in Silicon Valley, but these guys really, really care about their craft. It shows through the product experience. I think from an end user perspective, it's the best enterprise search, best knowledge management platform on the market today. That's why we bought them for $1 billion.
Yeah, we're going to see how it all turns out, of course.
And the thing is this, you talk about these competitors you talk about, a couple of names. I think that the ambition we have as a management team at Workday is massive, right? We're going to run the table on people and money. Yeah. And it all comes down to execution. So this rising was, here's where we're going. Here's the strategy. It's bolder than we've ever been before. We sat with the analysts earlier today. The product was covered for years. We've never seen the confidence here. And the reality is we've got a lot cooking on our own product teams. We saw the agents that are coming out and the way we're going to commercialize it and basically give it away, try it for free with your flex credits. And then we got the ambition, these acquisitions, I think, it's recognized with some great talent where they can accelerate our vision by 12, 18, 24 months. And by the way, bring that founder mode energy to this company.
Yeah. I would have expected you to say, let's embrace the supporting role and integrate with everybody else.
But it's both. So look, we're going to build the best agent for people in mind. That's our right to win. Okay. 100%. 100%. And on top of that, if you don't like our agents for people and money, or you want to use that data, here's your open data. Here's the Workday Data Cloud. It's basically the iceberg. Workday's never had a open platform like that.
No, I know, because I spoke to some of your customers and they were pretty annoyed by the way you integrate with Workday and get the data.
I mean, you can get the data out. We've always been open.
But it was pretty hard.
But doing this in a way with open standards, and I think the key thing with Iceberg is secure. So it's zero copy running in our cloud, and we can apply the same security policies. So that was, I think, the rub was that without the technology really to do super secure querying over this, it was just copy everything out. So it's better for customers on two fronts. One, it's zero copy. Two, it scales, right? This thing is like an awesome, we had Sridhar from Snowflake on stage about this, right? How do
3 partnerships for the zero copy? Are there more to come?
We'll see, but I think there's a lot of excitement from the ecosystem because here's the thing. We have so many CIOs attending this event this week. And the reason why is not because they're, suddenly HCM zealots. Okay. Even president company included. I was a Workday user, but I didn't know about HCM. The reason why the CIOs are here, the reason why I'm here is that as you think about AI, you need data to go and feed these models. And Workday is where this organizational data lives. So we're going to build kick-ass agents and kick-ass experience for those agents on our platform. But if you want to build your own or you want to go integrate, Salesforce is one of our launch partners. You mentioned Salesforce. They're partnering on the Workday Data Lake because guess what? Salesforce data plus Workday data together, way stronger. And you can go from Salesforce to Workday. You can go from Workday to Salesforce. You can go from Databricks and query both. But it's like this is the next generation of SaaS. We will always be that source of record for people and money. We have this enduring moat here. And for our customers, they trust us with this data as they should, but we're making it easier to go use all of that across the stack. And we're going to play with everyone in this space, including other knowledge management systems. If you want to do enterprise search on Workday, knock yourself out. We're going to have the best enterprise search experience. That's my bet with Sana. But if you want to go run another one, you got the APIs to do it. And that's what's so fun about this era. Either way, our customers win. They have the choice. And on the product side internally, on the first party agents, the team is just incredible because we have this deep expertise on people and money, and we onboard some incredible talent on the AI side. And you put two in a box and say, what can you go and build? How do you reimagine payroll? How do you do a performance review with an agent? How do you go? By the way, it's an enterprise search problem. Turns out performance reviews are an enterprise search. Instead of saying, oh, what did I think about John the last week? I can go pull in everything I know about John. Enterprise search. So this is all converging. And one final piece, the protocols here to power all of this. That's where I think the action is going to be. How do you make this stuff easier, more turnkey? Today, MCP is so rudimentary. It's like not even TCP. It's like IP. We're so low in the networking stack. I can't wait for the HTTP for enterprise SaaS and the AI era. That's what we got to work towards.
HTTP for enterprise. Okay. You have 4 months. How much of the strategy comes from you and how much is already there?
Look, it's a team effort. There's a lot of great ideas.
But I'm getting the feeling some of this is your thing because I think they got you for a reason.
It's been really great learning from the workmates, kind of what's worked well, what hasn't worked well. I think there's a lot of ideas people have had, but going out and being as bold as saying we're going to have an open data lake.
Because the open part, they were really closed. So someone had.
I think I give the workmates the credit for it, but I'm happy to use the authority I have as CTO of Workday to say, yes, let's go and do this. And let's go full throttle on this. Right. And it's actually, that's the air cover that we're providing the teams who are going and building this out. And obviously spend a lot of time looking at the architecture, make sure it looks great. But there's some really, really talented, Workday maybe historically is a little more closed than we've talked about. It's always been open in integration sense, but not the same embracement of open standard. the workmates get it. I think it was more, how do we...
I'd probably even call it a wallet guarded. So
I won't use that phrase, but I will say if we were, we're knocking down the walls.
yeah.
And that I think, I won't take credit for it, but I'm happy part of the team that's doing it.
Okay. Thank you very much for this conversation.
Yeah, I'm excited to see you next Rising when we see this next wave of enterprise search play out. I think your questions are spot on, and the reality is all about execution in this space. And when I look at the landscape and how our fellow players in the ecosystem are evolving, the bet we're placing on Workday is we can ship faster, we can deliver to customers better product, and the proof is in the pudding. So let's
you talked about interface. You said Sana is the best interface. Yeah. Microsoft is betting on Teams, not a great interface. Salesforce is betting on Slack. Maybe also not for everything best interface. But it are applications where people live it during the day. People are not so much living in Workday. So you have to change that.
Not at all. Yeah, no. I mean, look, the Sana customers using the agent product, their new tab is Sana.
Yeah.
And the question, I pose to you is, what's the new browser tab for most knowledge workers? It's not Slack. It's not Teams.
I think the browser industry is also going to change.
Massively. But there will be some front door.
Yeah.
And a new front door. Chat is kind of a modality that sort of works today.
Yeah.
It's probably not the end game modality by any stretch. And I think that like communication channels, look, we have Workday everywhere. We had Microsoft on stage. We showed, Workday showing up in the code. It really comes back to this. Like we're going to compete on the enterprise experience layer because that's blue sky. No one's doing it because, it's kind of funny. You ever talk to VCs like a couple of years back, enterprise search it's like a nerd candy, like such a fun problem to solve.
Yeah.
Google even sold an enterprise search appliance. They put a
I know. We tested one. We bought one from eBay. To see how it worked because it was really expensive.
It's incredible.
But we wanted to know as journalists how does it work? And what does it do? Because you would have expected with all the technology Google had in-house that they would have covered enterprise search years ago.
It's, and I think pre-LLMs, just lack of training data, ambiguity in queries. You need LLMs to be able to go and bridge that on a smaller data, like per customer regime. So now suddenly this category, which was like DOA, you go talk to any venture capitalist, these guys fund craziest stuff. They fund fusion reactors, right? They wouldn't touch enterprise search. It was always like, thank you. That's such a cool idea. I have a startup out there. It's a great idea.
Yeah.
Why don't you look at like, financial planning instead? Okay. Yeah. So like now that's real and it's here and there's products that are incredibly widely adopted. But regardless of that, like the actual average knowledge worker or even the early adopter knowledge worker, like that is still, once their front door for work, it's still blue sky. Yeah. So that the tech is now, viable. But the market is wide open. And I will be shocked if the front door for work is, let's say, group communication platforms as we know them today. We're betting it'll be Sana, and as Sana evolves in the future, it's going to be
always there. So
of course, Sana is collaborative. Like Sana, you can invite other people, you can share workflows. You can create content. I mean, Sana runs everything from their all team meetings to their stand-ups in Sana. Okay. It's a multiplayer. I mean, that's kind of what I love about it is, Figma shouldn't have existed, but they built the best experience on top of basically like WebGL and the canvas layout. The bet is that the Sana team is that. And then you couple that merging company with basically, the distribution of all of the Workday customers and Workday users. It's going to be a crazy chapter and really fantastic for customers. But we got to keep delivering, and that's what you should expect more of.
Okay, let's have a conversation again in the future. Let's see.
Sign me up.
How far you've come. We'll see.
Yeah.
Thank you all for watching Techzine TV.
Thank you so much,
and keep watching.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching Techzine TV, the channel about enterprise technology that brings you IT insights and analyses from events all around the globe. We cover everything, everywhere. Visit techzine.eu for more written in-depth articles and analysis, or keep watching techzine.tv. Don't forget to subscribe to our channels and share your favorite videos with your colleagues. We'll see you soon.